The following show features stupid opinions and ideas from two idiot brothers who probably did little research and practiced zero due diligence on the topic at hand. The MLO Bros' opinions do not reflect the views of their employer, guests, sponsors, families, neighbors, or pets. If you do not like what they are saying and don't agree with their views or opinions, don't watch the show. We can promise we do not care. Welcome to the worst show on the internet.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MLO Bros. I am solo today hosting. Luke is on vacation with his wife for a week, getting away from their kids, so down in Salt Fork. So if you're watching, Luke, hi, buddy. Don't worry, I'm doing good without you. But we have some new faces in the studio today. So we have. Why don't you guys introduce yourself and where you're from?
I'm Julie Little. I'm a community member and parent of Poland kids and the current treasurer of the Poland Schools Foundation.
Awesome.
I am Abby Ryan, also a community member, PSHS class of 2010. I am the secretary of the Poland Schools Foundation.
Nice. So we found out I butchered the title. So the full name is the Poland Schools Foundation for
Educational Excellence.
For educational excellence.
Yes.
Okay. Let's let's just explain what it is, when it was founded. Let's start there.
Oh my goodness.
Do we have any idea of when that was?
No, I do have an idea.
Yeah.
Background?
I did look that up. So basic premise of what we are is we're the academic boosters for the Poland schools.
Okay.
That's elevator speech there. We were founded in 1991 by our own Dr. Zorn and a bunch of other community members who saw a need for something like this in our community. So what they started with, they did our scholarships and our teacher mini grants. So we have a fund throughout the school year that teachers in our district can apply to, and we will give them funds. I think you had pulled it, Julie.
We bought for Mrs. Schaefer this year 2 Oculus Quest headsets for VR for her social studies and science classes, and then also did a grant for the 4 through 12 grade ELA teachers for some curriculum they wanted to implement. So we spent about $4,000 on mini grants this year, and
nice.
We're still going to hold Mrs. Schaefer. She's going to show us and let us play with the VR headset.
I want to come play with
right?
That sounds awesome.
It was like I think a request for like social studies, and like they were saying like the programs that they can use, like they can go look at like ancient ruins.
That's what I was going to say.
Walk through and
go walk through Rome or something.
Yeah, and I think it definitely. I mean, from my point of view, I would, if I was a student, and I was like, I could use this Oculus, it definitely makes learning more fun.
Absolutely, yeah. You could go check out the different architectures of ancient civilizations or something. That'd be sweet. Absolutely. Soup Hockenberry's already in the comments. He said, I have sold 12 tickets. We'll get to the tickets in a second here. Hockenberry says, 2 amazing people that care deeply about Poland. Thanks for watching, Soup. We appreciate you, buddy. So what are these tickets? You want to jump into that, or you want to?
Okay. So we are selling tickets for our 28th annual Honoree Banquet. I know we've been here 30 years, but we lost 2 years with COVID, not having our banquet. And it's our annual recognition dinner for some distinguished honorees. And every year we pick an alumna, it's teaching staff member and a non-teaching staff, and honor them. So this year's honorees are Bo Weaver is our alumna.
Old man Weaver himself.
I know, Bo. Are you
That's
out
my neighbor.
there?
That's my neighbor.
So, Bo was a class of 78 and definitely has been well involved in the community, the school board, the schools, and many other organizations.
Served on our foundation. A very long time. He was vice president of the Poland Schools Foundation for a long time. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And our teacher honoree this year is Thad Wright, who's one of our Poland middle school teachers.
Okay.
Been there 30-something years teaching social studies. Yeah. So many of us or many of our kids have experienced Mr. Wright as a teacher. And our faculty member is Lois Donovan, who is a monitor at right now. I believe she's at the McKinley complex. So she's been everything from a librarian to an aide to whatever they need her for in the year.
So it's just anyone can anybody be nominated who's like in Poland or has to be in the schools?
No. Well, I mean, for like the teacher and then the non-teaching staff. So obviously. And then, but yeah, so like prior to COVID hitting us, we had Doug Abisher as our honoree, just you know, as a tenant of this community. That's kind of like what has been our, you know, guiding premise of who's going to be our, you know, alumnus honoree for that. So we like to see people that are doing good in our community.
Okay, and then the tickets, where can we buy them, and how much are they?
So our banquet will be on May 19th, and tickets are a $50 donation. That includes your dinner and social hour, and some fine members of our school musical groups will be there to entertain us. And you can go to PolandSchoolsFoundation.org, and there is a link on our website to buy them, or you can track down me, Abby, anybody you know that's a foundation trustee.
What's that website? I'll throw it.
PolandSchoolsFoundation.org. Also, at the school, Mr. Hockenberry has tickets. Most likely there's somebody in every building that has tickets to sell.
And then you can go to our Facebook page too. It's Poland Schools Foundation for Educational Excellence. There's a link on ours. I think it's pinned on our page that links you to PayPal, so you can buy the tickets there.
On your Facebook page?
Yeah, on our Facebook page.
So the Poland Schools Foundation Facebook page, go check that out, and you can get those tickets there.
Yeah.
So what else do you got on your notes over there? What else are we talking about tonight?
I have a bad memory.
Julie really prepped for this.
like I said, Luke really dropped this on me, and I have no idea. I had no questions prepared.
I looked at our website, and that was it. I feel like I should know. Like, I mean, for being on the board for like almost 4 years now, 3 years, 4 years,
3 years. You and I just did our 3 year.
Yeah.
Gosh. You know, it's a volunteer role. So. And we're really trying to do a lot with the foundation in the last couple of years, get the word out.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know we exist. A lot of people maybe they know somebody who was involved with it, but they don't realize that as an individual, they can attend our banquet, that they can, you know, in some way support us. So COVID kind of slowed us down a little bit. We had some big plans, but we're getting there. We did a raffle last year in the fall, right? Football season.
Yep.
We did. And that raised $3,500 for us toward our scholarship fund, which is good because in a couple of weeks, we'll be giving a $2,500 scholarship to an applicant, and then also a $2,500 scholarship to our student ambassador.
Nice.
Should we call her out?
Yeah, call her out.
Do it.
Emily Denny.
And Emily, if you're listening.
Emily Denny, who's currently attending Poland.
Yeah,
she's a senior at Poland.
Nice.
She is in the band. She plays softball. She's been an excellent ambassador for us. So if there's any other students out there that are listening and you're a junior, please go to the guidance office and apply to be an ambassador
on Monday. On Monday when you get back to school, because we'll be selecting soon.
Yeah. So you select based on what? Is it based on things that they're involved in? Grades? What are we looking at? Because like I feel like if Luke and I were to ever be in, or when we went to school, we weren't like the perfect applicant for that selection process, being the troublemakers.
Well, I don't know, but you guys might have also been making podcasts and videos for us, which would help raise awareness. I mean, as an ambassador, we are looking for somebody who can help raise awareness about the foundation in an age group that really wouldn't know anything about us. So you never know.
Yeah. What about someone who wants to get involved in the foundation, like a parent or a community member? Where are they going? Can they call one of you two ladies?
Of course. Yeah. We also have a link on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not on our Facebook page. You can get there from our Facebook page.
Okay.
It's on our website. I think there's a letter from our president, Kevin Day, PSHS class of 09. But from Kevin, and it's just kind of a call to action that, you know, the foundation's always looking for trustees.
Okay.
it's
How many like trustees are there?
Oh God, do you have a?
Not enough.
Yeah, definitely not
We
enough.
can definitely use some more. So I think we're with Emily, we have about 14 at a meeting.
Okay.
Although about half of those are representatives of different areas of the school. So we would love to have more community involvement, more community trustees.
So there's not like a set limit or anything.
No,
I don't think
Not
so. In our
technically.
no, I mean, we would like to have more. Like Julie said, like Mr. Hockenberry sits on the foundation as the superintendent. He appoints someone, and he has appointed Dr. Hoffmaster to be one of the administrators. Mr. Daly served as that role for insanely long time and did such amazing things for the foundation. Troy Polis as the Board of Education. I know he's the president now, but he sits on our board as the Board of Education representative. So at least, the way that our foundation is set up, we can, get these people from the school board.
Representing different
Yes.
sections of the school, basically.
Yes,
The
we have,
soup has been great.
Yes.
About
He's the man.
yeah, and then we have Jeff as our teaching representative, and Nancy Morrow as our non-teaching representative. So we have a good number of representatives of different entities at the school. The problem is, because they're there as school representatives, they're not able to serve in the positions of like president and treasurer and vice president and things like that. So the more trustees, the more community trustees we have, the better.
So with those trustees, is it basically you guys raise money and then each section, I guess, would kind of say why they would need money to go to their area? Is that kind of how it works?
Not really. So like we raise money, one, for our scholarships that we give out. We also, as a foundation, hold funds for people. So if anyone wants to set up a scholarship to give out at the senior banquet, we can hold those funds for them, and then they either give us an application and we can select a recipient, or they can manage it themselves. But we do hold a lot of funds for people, and then, like I said earlier, the teachers can apply throughout the school year, and that's what our funds go to. Is if there's a project that not necessarily like the Board of Education is budgeted for, or it's not something that typically would be covered by, it's kind of an extra, an extra thing. They can apply to us, and most often we approve them. Like one year, I think Jill Marconi, she applied for. One was the 3D printer.
Yes, that the kids built. They built their own 3D printer, and then in each class they would take it apart, because STEM is like a 7-week class. So they would build it and then use it. And then the next class would take it apart and build it again and use it, which was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. And then the other one was the robots.
Yeah, these little mice looking things
they had to program them. So it was like coding and all that. And they built the robots themselves as well. But they coded it so that it had to follow a path. Yeah. So it's just like, Jill has been great about, sending in mini grant applications to the foundation, and we love to help out the STEM students. Yeah. Those projects are just, they're so cool.
Yeah. Right. Such a cool thing for Poland, because then you can kind of show off from like the school standpoint of like, we have this awesome coding classes and STEM stuff, and Oculus for social studies. Like that's a huge flex for us.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
That's been like what we've tried to do as a foundation, is like, get our name out there, because like if we have more support from the community, we can give more support back to the school. So,
absolutely.
It was like right before COVID. I think our scholarship was only for a graduating senior. Our scholarship was only at like, it was either 500 or 750. I forget.
750, I think, was the last one we did.
Yeah. And, we were like, this isn't, with the cost of books and everything. And we're like, we need to increase that. So we just increased that to $2,500. So it's, something that, we're really proud that we can do this as a foundation, and that we had such a successful raffle this year for our first year doing it. So it's definitely going to be something we're doing in the fall again. So be on the lookout for that. Right. But it's allowed us to increase that scholarship and also be able to maintain it for the next couple of years.
And if the MLO Bros, not saying we'll do this anytime soon, but if we ever have a situation where we want to like have a scholarship
Yeah.
we could
Mhm.
come to you
Oh, yeah,
guys.
absolutely.
I guess that's a good example, is come to you guys
Yep.
and then set something up
Mhm.
and designate a certain amount of money. You guys would hold it, and then
Mhm.
would you like help us select them?
Yeah,
Or
we can help you select it if you guys want to have your own. We have people that just give us the money and say it has to go to someone that
Is a nursing major.
a nursing major, or it's
Okay.
something. So like they'll put
Mhm.
restrictions on it, but
Yeah.
they're like, you select it. Or we have people that are like, we kind of want a more hands-on approach.
Yeah.
Can you?
I feel like
hold
Luke
it?
and I would totally be like hands-on. We want to like meet every
And that's
person.
Right.
fine. Like
Yeah.
we're okay with that. But it gives us the opportunity to award the scholarships
Right.
to
Cool.
students.
And the school
keep that in
guidance
mind,
office
absolutely.
handles all the application process
Yeah.
for it. So the kids go to the guidance office, pick up the scholarships, and then they let us know what we have, to come pick up and go through. So it works out very well. And
shout out to Michelle Saccone
seriously,
over in the guidance office.
It's a super busy time of
Yeah,
the year,
and-
with between graduation and scholarships and everything else
Right
for
now
her over
is?
there.
Yeah.
Yes, like
Yeah.
all of the scholarship applications probably had to be in right before spring break started.
So she's sifting
And-
through everything right now.
And then like organizations like ours, like we're selecting our recipients that first week in May, so that then she can start getting everything set for the senior banquet, or the senior academic banquet that happens like their last week of school. They come in, they
Yeah.
have senior breakfast, then they have awards,
Mhm.
and then they go have graduation practice. But there's just a lot of things to get in order
When will
for
the
that.
kids figure out if they got the scholarship or the award or not, or the scholarship or not? Would that be that
Yeah,
award
so at
ceremony?
that day.
so
Yeah.
we will announce it at the senior breakfast.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
so they do the senior breakfast, then the award
Yes.
ceremony. But so we usually have someone. You were there last year,
Yes.
so you handed out all of our
Mhm.
scholarships last year. And then like with our scholarship, the only like caveat of it is that we require our recipient to provide us a transcript of their first semester at school. So
Okay.
nothing too crazy, but
Right.
so
At college?
yeah. So one of the criteria is that they've been accepted into a college or a technical program.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then once they have completed a semester of that, they just have to send us a transcript.
Like proof
kind of-
that they're going
And
to
then
school
we send the
not
check. Yeah, so it's a little
blowing the money
different. I mean,
on
they get a letter and a congratulations the end of May, and then they get
Yeah.
a check in January after they demonstrate that they went to school.
Mhm.
So,
okay.
but for a lot, and I will say, like, there's definitely a pattern in the kids that apply to the scholarships, and so usually they're applying to multiple and sometimes winning multiple because they took the effort to apply.
Yeah.
So they're getting some money in May, they're getting some money in January. It works out.
Was that
So.
rule established because some kid ran away with the money?
It's been that way since I've been
Yeah.
on the foundation. So I think that's how it's how a lot of our scholarships, like we
Mhm.
have a few, like we manage the Micah Harris scholarship.
Okay.
And I know the Micah Harris scholarship,
Mhm.
that's a requirement for that one.
Yes.
I forget there's like two other ones.
Yeah. What are some cool scholarships that the average person or average community member might not know about?
Well, there's Micah Harris off the top of my head.
Yeah. More recently, for Mrs. Zorn, when she passed away, her family established a nursing scholarship
That's cool.
in her
Mhm.
name. There's
The Bonarigo.
the new Bonarigo, and again, there's a scholarship established in his name.
Mhm.
That is last year received some funding from the Poland All Sports golf outing, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, from their
Very
booster
cool.
club. I honestly, I don't know what the criteria is specifically on that one. I know on the Mrs. Zorn one is a nursing scholarship. The
Mhm.
Elsie Schultz is a nursing. There's some interesting, like the class of 1962. We have several alumni classes that have scholarships, but I believe it's the class of 62 that they do the two different ones, and one is actually more specific to someone going into the trades, not college, it's very it's a nice they kind of split and do two different scholarships that way. But it's nice to see a focus on
something.
Yes,
Yeah.
not just your biggest academic.
Yeah. See, that's I feel like Luke and I, if we ever came up with one, would want something like that. Like even if it was like the class clown sponsorship or something, just like the goofball.
Right.
Like even if you don't have the best grades, if you're going to school,
right.
like we appreciate that. So
and a lot of them are. I mean, when and maybe you guys, one of you two, can run over when they do the awards this year. It's very interesting. I mean, the public can attend. Not last year because of COVID; it was very restricted. But I mean, there's about $65,000 in local money given out in scholarships. In addition, then they do a big recognition of all the students that got college scholarships.
Yeah.
But just in local scholarships, everything from the Rotary to this was it like St. Anthony's Bocce League. I mean, just all these little individual. I mean, Poland Presbyterian Church has a number of scholarships. That actually Bo Weavers sits on their scholarship committee. But to see the kids in the community, you know, really get recognized for different things. So
absolutely. Right. You guys got another comment here from Austin Township trustee Robert Santos. Says, that's awesome. Great job, you two.
Thanks, Robert.
What was I going to say? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I forget. What else you got on the list over there?
I don't think I have
going to say, like, if we're on the topic of scholarships, I mean, we gave out, us as a foundation, and like talking about the funds that we hold. I mean, I know you have the numbers over there. Like, if you just want to rattle those off, like, of how much from the awards banquet last year.
So last year, of money that the foundation managed total, we wrote scholarships out for $17,600.
Okay.
And of that, $6,500 was our own PSF money. We did an additional $2,500 scholarship last year because of COVID. We just felt like we really needed to add something back to particularly that senior class. It just lost so much. But, you know, a fair number of those scholarships came out of our foundation, and we select, I think on 3 or 4 of them, we were the committee for that. So, and then the other ones are managed. Like I said, there's just different class, like class of 54, class of 62.
Is there a 71 in there?
Maybe.
Or they just donate.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing though, that, you know, some of these classes, they had a fairly decent amount of money, and then that way they're able to award money and continue to have an endowment to continue those scholarships. So
other than that event, what other events are coming up that people can get involved? Anything, or throughout the year, what are some big hitters that you want the people to know about?
We are working on it.
Right.
This banquet has been a long time coming. I mean, I think we've rescheduled it more times than I can count.
Really?
Just with COVID and everything. Like, we were going to do it last fall, and then like that's when COVID started getting really bad again. And we can't in good conscience do this. So now we kind of feel like, you know, we're at a point where we can do this, but we're definitely going to be doing our raffle again. I think in the fall,
beginning of football season, hopefully. Didn't we draw in the last home football game last year? We drew our winner at halftime.
So I would look out for that. Years ago, and this is going back to when I was in high school, the Poland Schools Foundation did the Smart Walk and Run. So, I mean, that's something that me as a trustee, and I haven't shared this with any of the other trustees. So if anyone else is watching, I apologize that I'm creating more work for us, but I think it would be a great thing. But it was this huge community event. And it would start at the Presbyterian Church, and it would be, I don't know, a couple miles.
Yeah.
And it would just be this smart walk run. And I think that, you know, really raised awareness for the community, knowing, you know, that the foundation exists and stuff. So we're working on, you know, like Julie said, COVID really
slowed everybody down.
Everyone. So, you know, we're trying to put feelers out there of, you know, what events we can expect and what we can feasibly do. Again, you know, we're a board of a lot of community members. A lot of us have full-time jobs, and a lot of us are full-time moms. Shout out to Allison out there. I hope you're still watching.
Hey, Allison.
Yeah. But, you know, so if there are any other community members that want to come join our board, we welcome you.
Yeah.
We meet once a month, Mondays, about an hour of your time. Volunteer, you know, we won't commit too much of your time unless you want to. I think we've decided, because we tried last year, we had a table at Celebrate Poland, which was in the fall. We're back to the summer this year. So I think we're going to do that again. Just informational.
I think they might have a fall event too.
I heard that. I thought they were
Yeah.
going to do a second. So
Was it awesome? Was the fall event sweet? Did you like it?
It
was nice.
It was nice. It was just really like all the crafts were fall and Christmassy, and
Yeah.
the weather
The
was, you
pumpkins
know, there was no like hurricane that blew through from it being so hot. So it was really nice. So I think we're going to do another informational table there. We were at the holiday shop that they sponsor at the high school.
Yeah.
We have these Wendell August Forge. I know I almost brought one.
These haunt us.
These
what are they?
Okay, so they're Wendell August Forge like medallions. So you know how they make Christmas tree ornaments. So we started calling them ornaments, but they're of all of our school buildings. And so some school buildings, like the high school, I don't think we have any left, but like North and Dobbins, we have a bunch left.
That's a cool idea.
We sold them at Holiday Shop last year, and we did pretty good on that. And we're gonna pull them out again for this year and sell them at Holiday Shop. So
it's a great graduation gift
right.
for these graduating seniors,
right?
Especially since if depending on what we do with the new build, like, are we going to build something, and then what's going to happen to the old buildings? So you gotta have that. Those are little
have
way of remembering them.
Yes.
If that
so
happens.
you can contact us through our website too. I'll hook you up. I have a giant bin of them at my house. They were something that were commissioned, quite some time ago, and then they kind of
and for
fell by
that,
the wayside. And
like for people that don't know who Wendell August Forge is, I mean, it's like it's a very nice brand.
Yes.
Like they do all like the melded plates. Like, I mean, like
okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like it's got some good weight to it.
Cool.
So
I want to see one.
I think there might be
should have brought it in.
There are pictures on our website. I'll have to look and see if I can find it.
Maybe, but they're nice, and they're at the school buildings. There's the Little Red Schoolhouse.
Yeah.
There's one of a bulldog. So it's not really even that we're doing them necessarily as a fundraiser. They were paid for some time ago. We're just looking to get them out in the community and continue to raise awareness. And
very cool.
Yeah. The more money we bring in and the more awareness we have, the more we
That's
can
really
fund
nice.
on
Look
mini
at that thing.
grants,
Hold
and we can
Can I put
fund
this up to
on.
the camera?
Oh yeah. The bulldog one is probably like, you gotta go down a little bit. They change. I don't know if it's gonna go into focus. There we go. I think that's Dobbins.
That's Dobbins with a horse going by in front of it.
It's actually really nice. You can't really. Yeah. So is it?
They're
how big is it?
They're like this big. So like a cookie size, I would say.
That thing looks pretty solid.
Oh yeah, you gotta, if you've got a fake tree, like you gotta
tie it around a couple branches.
Yeah, so I have I think I have the high school and the bulldog one, and we put them on our tree this year, and like it just drew.
Yeah,
and I was like, we gotta
slide these back a little bit. Yes, I mean they're very nice. So
but yeah, I mean,
so those are things we have planned right now, and
I
think we're looking for more events. I mean, as we said before, Mr. Hockenberry's been fantastic, and at the recent pulling together
that was
that
great.
He had, so I mean, none of us could attend that day from the foundation.
Luke and I went. It was great.
But I snuck in the morning and threw foundation postcards on all the tables, and he's been really good about getting out there and supporting everything we want to do too. So
and he's been great, to sit on our board and just be, shout out to the Soup. He's been so active in the community, and really helping, throw the foundation's name out there.
Yeah, he's so good at communicating whatever you could possibly imagine that needs communicated. He will shout it from the rooftops, go out there and sit down with people, have dinner with them or whatever, and communicate whatever you need done. So he is the man.
As long as you get your message in by his production deadline, which I am awful at.
He has a production deadline?
Yeah, so he always jokes with me that, if there's stuff for the foundation he wants to get out in his what's he calling it now?
It's the bottom of the ninth now, the weekly update that he puts out.
Yeah, the 5 or was the 2-minute drill, and now it's the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
If I was notorious for not getting things in by his production deadline.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we were going to make a video mocking one of his where you remember at the beginning of the year when he was has the football, and then at the end of it he would throw it.
Yeah.
We were going to do a video where we cut it after he throws the football, and it's some old guy walking down the street and just gets hit with the football. But we didn't. We were nice to you, Soup. Don't worry.
We're not laughing.
No,
We're laughing with
and
you.
Nico works very hard at
Nico!
making our videos. And
Yeah, I saw
yes.
him. We met him for the first time at the Poland Together
Oh,
event,
okay.
Mhm.
and we were begging him to come on the podcast because he's so good at social media and posting and keeping the soup on top of everything. Oh my goodness, excuse me. But he's I don't know what it is. Maybe he's shy, but he doesn't want to. He likes hiding behind the scenes. But Nico,
Yeah.
we're coming for you, brother. We're
Yeah.
getting you on here.
He's been great. I mean, like, I
Yeah.
can't believe how quickly he gets things.
Yeah.
He gets things done. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Craig has offered to have him help out with the foundation too. And like we normally, one of the big things the ambassador does for us is we kind of do a PSA of what the foundation is. And now that we have this nice jumbotron at the football field, we play it at every home football game. And I think we've tried to get it into the soccer games if we can. I don't know if lacrosse uses it or anything like that, but so the ambassador does that. But did Nico help out with our video this year?
Yeah, with Emily.
I think so. So he's done a great job.
Well, I've been trying to ask community members lately, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. How would you feel? Like, what's your opinion on a new school? Like, what would you like to see something where it's like a giant facility, or would you like to see them fix up the old buildings? What do you guys prefer? Or would you like maybe I don't know, there's all kinds of options. K-6, like they could knock down North and put in like a K-6 building or something. What do you guys want to see? You went to Poland. Did you go to Poland?
I went to Hubbard.
What would you, as someone who graduated from Poland in 2010, what would you like to see?
As someone who graduated from Poland in 2010, and my parents also went to Poland.
Okay. Did you go to like North or Dobbins?
I was a Dobbins kid.
Okay.
And I think they had just put the addition on the Dobbins when I was there, so that was like a new room for us. So as a 2010 graduate, I think it would be great if we had a new facility. I just think, I mean, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I think it's
so like you're talking campus.
I mean, that
huge facility.
Like you look at South Range.
Yep, that's where I graduated from, that new place.
Right,
in
and
2012.
it's gorgeous. But is that something that's going to be feasible for us as taxpayers? Are we going to be able to get the levies for that? I mean, it would be phenomenal.
And where's the land for that too?
Right.
That's the problem too that Poland has that South Range never had.
Like in a perfect world, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
But if we can do anything to help. We'd love to, but that's my answer. I'd love to see it. I think it would be great for our district.
Yep.
And I know the soup's been on this, and everyone has been hounding him with questions on this. But
Eddie DeBartolo Jr., who is at the Poland Together too, he's getting
Moransky, you mean?
Sorry, Moransky. Sorry, buddy. But he was at the Poland Together, and he is trying to poll the community and just get something. So like whatever has the best chance of passing, whatever it may be, just gather the information and go from there. So
it's just so hard. I mean, like you look at our football field, and I shouldn't say football field. I mean, like our stadium and like all the sports that use it. I mean, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
And like, luckily I was able to use that my senior year. I played soccer. So I
played soccer on that field too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great field. And it's just like, it's such a great tenet of the community right there. And so you would hate to like build a campus away from that.
Yeah.
So you're kind of dealing with like a ton of logistical problems. So, I mean, it's
tough.
I don't even want to think about the headache that Mr. Hockenberry has, because it's just way above my pay grade.
No kidding. Yeah, I graduated from South Range in 2012, but 2010, my sophomore year going into my junior year, is when we went from the old buildings to the new campus. And we went from two buildings, one on one half of South Range and one on the other side of South Range, which was like the high school and the elementary was together, and then the middle school was on like other side of the district. So
You drive past both of them driving to Mount Union from Poland.
Yeah.
That's where I went to college. So,
yeah. So
many drives past both of those schools.
And then we went to this huge one campus, and I've experienced them both, and they both have positives and negatives, but it just depends on what the community wants to do and what has the best chance of passing. What do you think? What do you like?
So, I mean, I have one daughter that already graduated last year and another one that's in 7th grade. So whatever happens, neither one of my children will really be directly benefited from it. But I mean, I'd love for a new like state of the art K through 6. I just think that there's so much the way our classrooms are now, the ability to have, like sliding doors that double classroom sizes and things like that would be fantastic. If it's real, I don't know if it's realistic or not, but at the very least, there needs to be a full-fledged gut and remodel of the existing village property. If we're going to keep that, then it needs to be made, brought up to state of the art. It's just too much to have. Those rooms weren't built for 25 kids and computers and, learning tables and stations and everything else that they do. So,
absolutely.
I mean, I'll support, no matter what happens, I'll support it either way. But it really would be like a district like Lakeview. If you look at like their new I think it's K through 6 that they built a couple years ago. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So.
Moransky was talking. He said north. There's a lot of land there that you could take down north and put in like a new facility and use all that land to build like a K through 6 or K through 8, I think, and that would be really cool. And then you could make the village like McKinley, I think he said. Like there's just so many different options. Oh my gosh, like a community center or something,
right.
And then keep the high school because it's like the newest thing, and you, like you said, the stadium there. So, but yeah, so many options, so many different things. So
it'll be interesting. I mean, Canfield's trying to pass a bond right now, so I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I mean, and I don't know. I like kind of follow their like levy page and stuff like that just to see how they're approaching it. And
Luke and I are the admins for everything Canfield as well as everything Poland. It is you have some people for it and you have some people against it, and it's just wild. Some of the
you're just going to have that everywhere. I mean, you're going to have, Poland, you're going to have people against it, you're going to have people for it if it gets to a point where it's going to be that way. So
what's happening in Canfield is I guess there's some kind of pipeline that runs underneath where they want to build the school. And the people who are against it are all like claiming that you can't build a school on the pipeline because the pipeline will explode and kill everybody in the school. And like, it's just, there's so much information and you don't know what to believe. You can't, it's just wild. So, but I think if theirs passes, I think that our community and like the Youngstown community is so like keeping up with the Joneses that if they pass, they get a new school, we will 100% get jealous and pass a new school.
I think that's a very valid point.
Just to compete with Canfield.
I mean, that is a valid point. So, I mean, because their bond includes money to like do big upgrades to the high school too. So it's not just an elementary.
Correct.
It's really bringing their high school up to a state of the art.
Yeah, so. I think they're K through 6 and upgrades to the high school. Yeah. Very neat.
So, I mean, if anything, I think the high school needs upgraded too. I mean, like it's
how'd you feel about that 7th and 8th grade going into the high school? Like, was there enough room for that?
You see, like when I went to school, like, I mean, we were pretty max capacity at four grades there. I mean, like, I think my graduating class had like not upper twos, but definitely had 200 plus.
Yeah.
So, we were full in classroom. So I don't think we could have had 7th and 8th there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, did I like it? No, because it's against what I was used to. So like, I hate change. So it's like just something that you change, and you're just like in your curmudgeon-y ways, and you're just like, But I mean, did it make sense for the district? Probably, as they wouldn't have made that decision. So it's kind of hard to put yourself in those shoes unless you have like all the facts and a lot of I don't have all the facts.
Yeah,
so it's it was made for. That decision was obviously made for reasons, even if, there's people out there that don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't see it as like a long-term thing. I don't know. So
I think
the intent is a long-term
Really?
thing. Yeah, my daughter's in 7th. It's going well.
it's how
not
it used to be.
ideal. I mean, as far as they're kind of relegated to like a single hallway, 7th grade's on one side and 8th on the other, but they're really not mixing with the older students. But the intent is that they could start taking some of the college, or not the college, the high school things. That hasn't really happened yet. In part, I think because COVID just messed up everything too.
Yeah.
I mean, just getting back to school and trying to have a regular year was enough this year, let alone to be like, hey, we're going to let 8th graders go take 9th grade art or something along those lines.
Which would be very cool. I think that's a good idea.
But I mean, that is, I believe, the intent is to give them a little, some more options to explore in that 8th grade year, because they have some more. However, the 8th grade schedule works out, they have more flex time to do, to take like 1 or 2 non-academic kind of things. And then this way, it's a way for the district to offer it because they exist at the high school. So.
And I really do think from seeing friends move to this community, I think it's right now Poland's going through a situation where it's like turning over, where all the people who are older, like empty nesters, are like selling their houses, and the younger generation who are like newlyweds or have like a 1 or 2 year old are moving into the community. And for the longest time, the students going to Poland was trending down. And I really do think we're going to start seeing it trending up and climbing like crazy.
It is. Craig has the numbers on his board, dry erase board in his office. Yeah. And kindergarten enrollment is up. It's ticking back up. Yep. So my daughter who graduated last year, I think they had 165 kids.
Yep.
And my 7th grader, there's maybe 145, 150. Yeah. And then I think there were some classes that like down to like 130, but they're starting to come back up again.
Luke and I have a bet with school board member Donopoulos, Mr. Donopoulos, about the incoming class size, and I think he's going to buy a steak dinner if it's over like one. He's going to buy a steak dinner if it's over like 130 something
for the kindergartners,
for the new incoming kindergartners, because he's saying it's still in the downturn, and I'm like, there's absolutely no way.
They always pick up almost. I mean, like the last couple of summers, they picked up almost a whole classroom in summer. So
if you come to Four Seasons and on a summer night, and there is no way that there is a downtick in student enrollment, because there are kids everywhere.
Luke's neighborhood too, he's over on Chardonnay. It's a lot of like on his road, it is so many empty nesters, and then anybody selling their house. It's just people with kids moving in, so taking their place. So it's gonna snap little by little, and it's gonna shoot up. So we'll see, but I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm excited too. I think, it's definitely, I'm seeing a lot of people that I went to school with moving back here and having kids. Yeah. So it's been exciting for us, is like, our friends are having kids, and like, so our kids get to hang out with their kids. Yeah. So it's definitely, I'm with you on, I would take that bet on with Dr. Donopoulos.
Can't wait, Donopoulos, for my steak.
I would take the bet, and
better pick a good restaurant.
I know. He's probably going to buy me something cheap.
You guys are going like Marble Room up in Cleveland.
Yeah. Like tuck in a little bib or something.
Yeah, no, he's thinking like Outback or something.
Lobster on the side, right?
He never told us exactly what it's going to be. But so I think it just proves how awesome of a place Poland is, that the older folks want to stay here as long as they can. Right. Kids our age want to move back to Poland. I know my wife and I, we live over on Massachusetts in a condo, but we plan to hopefully have if we can find a house in this neighborhood that isn't ridiculously priced. Right. So
might need to wait a couple years.
Yeah, we're gonna wait it out. But super exciting.
Allison's saying up to
127 now. I think it's 130 or 131 is what.
They're definitely. I mean,
can't wait for that steak, Donopoulos.
Look at her; she's just keeping tabs.
4 people away, 4 kids away.
Would you just like, you're gonna hit? It's gonna be like 129.
I hope not.
And that would, like, I would just
and hover, but it won't. It really won't. There'll be the week before kindergarten starts that there's like kids that like the parents show up at school like, hey, how do I register my kid? And
he brought in, when he was in here talking, he brought in like his chart, and he had these numbers, and it said the students at I think he was at like 115 or 118 or something. So even if it's close to 130, it's still proving the point that it's going up. It's it's the trajectory is heading that way.
His numbers probably come in some ways. The state of Ohio, they came in a decade ago or a little less, and they made all these projections, and it looked like everybody was going to live here forever and nobody was going to have kids. And even at that same time in my neighborhood, people were moving in and newlyweds and starting to have families.
And nothing against Annapolis either. Like, he's awesome.
That was professional data
but all in good fun.
Look, somebody texted him. I think he joined. We're up to 10.
He's like, that son of a, I swear to goodness.
I was really hoping Allison's comment was like 127 tickets sold for the Banquet.
Oh, right.
That would be awesome.
That too, but
we'll take kindergartners. That's a good
right.
So anything else you guys want to cover about the Banquet or anything before we?
I don't think we said the Banquet was at the embassy.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to them. They've been awesome with planning and allowing us to reschedule this multiple times.
Yeah.
So May 19th at 6 p.m. We'll do a little cocktail hour, and then we kind of get our program started, and we'll do our awards for our honorees, and kind of mingle with community members and the amazing
out the door
board.
about 8:30. So we don't mess around.
Oh,
Everybody's got to go. It's a
weeknight.
Everybody's got to go to work the next day. So yes, we'll do dinner and in and out. You're welcome to stay and socialize, but yes, and entertainment between 6 and 7 will be provided by high school students. We don't know if we're having. Well, we think we're having band members there.
Yes. Mr. Vizdos has said that he gets, I think, some of the wind ensemble.
Okay.
Nice.
He said he'd have there to play for us. So we're very thankful that
Absolutely.
that Mr. Vizdos is so willing to work with us. He sits on our board. I think we said that in the beginning. I guess we want to shout out our board members too.
Yeah.
Here, you want the list?
Oh God, you're gonna,
we don't want to miss anybody.
You guys want to alternate? You can say one and then
Academy Awards. We don't want to forget anybody, right?
So our president is Kevin Day, graduated from Poland in 2009. I'm our secretary. Julie here is our treasurer and our vice president. We've got Mr. Luke Politsky. If you don't know Luke, kind of also Mr. Poland. He graduated 2009. He's our immediate past president.
We won't let him leave.
Yeah, we're holding on to those strings so hard right now. But yeah, so he served as our president for a really long time. Soup is on as our superintendent of the Poland schools. Dr. Maria Hoffmaster, she's our administrative representative. Mr. Jeff Vizdos is our teaching staff representative. Nancy Morrow is our non-teaching staff representative. Troy Polis is our Board of Education representative. And then we've got Carla Bobby, Greg Kibler, Kim Morantis, Allison Matson, and Eleanor Zedeker. And then Emily Denny, like we said before, serves as our student ambassador, and she's graduating this year, class of 2022. That's like really weird to say. Class of 2022. I guess not that weird since you just had
I know, but what's your daughter's graduation year? Have you figured it out?
Like either like 2037.
Oh wow!
It sounds
2037 or 2038, depending on when she's enrolled.
Futuristic, right?
Yeah. Like Mount Union sent us like a fake, not a fake, but like a preliminary acceptance when we had her, and it was like class of 2038, and I was like,
yikes!
Oh, wow.
Right?
At least like she was born in 2020, so like at least calculating when she's gonna like have life events is like it's an even number, so it's not like that hard.
My youngest she'll be 2027, and then like kindergarten or something, they had like class shirts with all their class and their names on the back, and it says like 2027 in layers. And the first time you see that, you're like, no, will I be retired by then?
Well, I hear the crazy thing is like you say some people on the board are like graduating class of 2010 or 2009. Like, I don't think that's that old, but then I'm
No.
like, okay, that guy's like 30 now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it's like,
Yeah,
to me,
you know
you know what I mean? Like,
I just-
that is
yeah.
Right.
terrifying.
That
In my head, it
me,
registers as like, okay, that guy's only 2 years older than me. He's not that much older than me, or 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
But it's like,
We saved
Never
you,
mind.
Allison. We didn't share your graduation year. But yes, Allison's a graduate of Poland. So,
nice.
yeah. So that's our board. We have, like we said, we are open to having more trustees. We want more trustees.
Yeah.
You know, we want to get the word out. You know, we're
open to
excited.
donations.
yeah.
There's a link on our website to our PayPal
And
account.
it
You're
is in the
welcome
comments.
to
You can go check out our
make
website.
a donation to us. That
Yeah.
would be fantastic too. We'd like to see you at our dinner. It's a nice time.
I will have to say we are a registered 501c3 corporation, so
Okay.
any donation made to us is tax exempt.
Mhm.
So just throwing that out there for all those
Right.
tax planners. That,
Yeah.
I'll
that
send
we-
you a letter.
yeah, we are a registered nonprofit organization. So
Cool. Well, appreciate everybody for watching the MLO Bros tonight. If you haven't already, please go check out the MLO Bros Facebook. Also, down below, we have 4 likes right now. If you could give us a like down there, that would help us out. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. On Thursday at 8:30 p.m., it'll be me again. Luke's still out, but we will have on Canfield city manager Wade will be coming on, and we'll be talking about events on the green in Canfield. So we're flipping over to that on Thursday. So that'll be fun. But thank you everybody for watching. Also, I'd like to shout out my shirt for the night. I will be wearing this on Thursday as well for my buddy Zembauer for Rosalie's Forever Footprints. This is a Facebook post from him today. This is going to be a difficult week. Here's to finding the strength to bring positivity to the world for those that didn't have the chance. Please stay with me this week as we celebrate Rosalie's birthday Thursday by looking towards the future and making this world a brighter place for things she would have, for kids she would have called friends. So they are a charity where they help make parks, and they're actually teaming with us for the movie night coming up in June. So for her daughter, I'm wearing this shirt for you today, Zembauer, and Thursday, buddy. So yeah, shout out to him. But thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you Thursday. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. It's been fun. Good conversation. So, but bye everybody. See you next time.